Hey, what's up, Cancers? Welcome back to this general tarot reading. So I have to admit, the last cycle I missed my Cancer read because I could not complete a reading. I got to 2 or 3 reads and I couldn't complete any of them, so I wound up moving on. The same thing happened with Sagittarius. I got through 3 reads and I just couldn't get anything out of all 3 reads, so I just skipped Sagittarius. And if I take a look at my Cancer viewing numbers, they're very low. And the watch times are very low. And if you look at the astrological chart, Capricorn is opposite of Cancer on the wheel. So I don't know what it is, but apparently it's playing out that I don't quite have a good resonance for what Cancer wants to hear. So I do apologize for that. I appreciate it if you have decided to take a look at this anyways. And I'm working on changing my style for all of you because I'm sure that plenty of you would like to hear some great messages as well. The issue is that my messages tend to be about issues within the self and pinpointing some issues that Spirit wants you to work on. But if you get disrupted easily emotionally at that idea, you might not be able to stick around with the way I have to say my reading. So it's something where I might just have to kind of change up the way I do my readings for Cancer. And it's something I need to work on anyways. I'm trying to work on kind of bringing something different out of the readings. So it's a great opportunity to make that happen with this particular sign. It's definitely one of the greatest challenges I've got. Cancer and then like Leo and Sagittarius are tough for me. Very low view count and very low watch times. Many other reads have a lot more. They resonate better with others for some reason. So it's something I got to work on. All right, so seeing as how I am at 2 minutes and nothing has come out yet, I must remind you to check the timestamps below in order to skip to relevant parts of the drop for you. If you would like to skip my random ramblings here as I try to get some cards to drop, make sure you check the timestamps. With that being said, also make sure you make sure that we do have one card that wants to come out here, High Priestess. Make sure that you regard all disclaimers as listed in my description. All typical disclaimers are assumed. All non-typical disclaimers are asserted. Here's another card that wants to come out for you. King of Cups. High Priestess into the King of Cups. Very interesting. So all typical disclaimers are assumed. All non-typical disclaimers are asserted. I'm not responsible for you imparting the truth delivered in this message if it is not meant for you. You need to make sure that you take what resonates for you and leave the rest for somebody else. I'm not responsible for your misuse of this reading in any way, shape, or form. Also, make sure to watch out for the scammers. I've had a ton of scammers the last couple of days getting me on Facebook. I added like 1 new person on Facebook, and apparently it was like a hornet's nest of scammers, and all of a sudden like I've gotten 400, 500 friend requests. I literally got tired of adding the new friends. So, and they've been trying to scheme me with like Illuminati messages. Like they want me to like they're promising me like millions of dollars in houses and cars and stuff to join the Illuminati. That's happened a couple times. Somebody said I won like a Facebook award that was worth 150 grand, but it was really fishy what they were what they were trying to get me to do. Somebody was trying to get me to like buy bitcoins on PayPal, and they were going to get me into like some kind of pyramid scheme on Facebook or on PayPal, but I did not in fact stick with that. And a couple people have like they've asked like, what would you do if you had like $3,000, stuff like that. That's happened 3 or 4 times, and it never comes around to anything. They're always like fishing for information, so you just have to definitely be careful. If there is only use the official links in my YouTube. It's like the only place I link stuff. The links are where those links go. Any other links outside of that, do not trust those. Alright, so thank you for listening to me ramble on in that regard. Oh, and last thing, if you do check the description, make sure to follow me on whichever social media strike your fancy. And excuse my cat for being noisy over there. I'll give her a quick sec. Alright, so hold on a little bit longer. I'll keep shuffling here, maybe we'll find something. Alright, so what you've got here, you got the High Priestess, King of Cups, Four of Swords, and the Tower, all in the upright, so that's very interesting. As we were just discussing potential negative energies, you've actually landed in a lot of positive energy here. Even the Tower, in a sense, can be that, depending on the context. So we also have the King of Cups, which represents an older Cancer, older male Cancer, older masculine Cancer, and typically somebody who's known for having emotional stability. They can be legally averted. They can be known as a good leader. So what's interesting here, though, is that King of Cups is being flanked by the High Priestess and the Four of Swords, both of which have to do with intuitive notions. So the High Priestess, very feminine energy. They are, in fact, looking at... They aren't... Like, it's all about the High Priestess being connected to higher source, higher power, and her capacities to do that. It's not really about logicalness or mentalism. It's really about intuition. And then on the other side, the Four of Swords, that's about retrospection, internal retrospection. Taking a step back to sort of recalibrate your internalism. So interesting how this King of Cups, who's already in an emotionally stable state, is being called to some kind of retrospection and is being sort of called to look into intuitive capacities. That's kind of interesting here, how this is forming up. The issue, though, is with the Tower at the end. I am curious to clarify further as to what this is, because usually that is... So what's interesting here is that whatever this is, whatever this Tower moment is, this change that needs to occur, it looks like you're going to be kind of ready for it, because you're using your intuition and you're using your introspection to really take a clear look at what needs to happen. So it's almost as if you're going to be ready for this Tower. You understand the Tower is on the way. You might even understand why the Tower is good for you, and you're not going. This is suggesting that you aren't really going to be caught off guard by the Tower. That you might even be a part of instigating this Tower, because you're finding yourself so intuitively energized here in this particular reading. As long as you are this King of Swords, or excuse me, this King of Cups. So, let me see, Great Goddess. Can you please clarify beyond the Tower card? If you would, please. Okay, so that's like 9 cards. I'm not going to take those. Yeah, so at this point of the reading, it's just whomever this King of Cups is likely represents you. Older masculine energy. Kind of a stable masculine energy. An individual that they do have interpersonal capacity. It is a sign of stabilized emotionality, like a maturely emotional individual, which is very good, because as we discussed at the beginning of the reading, I feel like Cancers don't like getting called emotional, apparently. And that's something I discovered from my first reading, when I accidentally called them crabs. And I wasn't calling them crabby, I was calling them Cancer the Crabs, as in, you know, the sea creature, the crab. But according to the click-off rate, they took that really personal. It's not something I ever considered. So that was something I definitely was very interesting to learn here. So now we have the Page of Cups, which is once again another water energy. So now we have this interesting scenario where you could be this Page of Cups or the King of Cups. The Page of Cups is a younger energy. It can be masculine or feminine. It is not actually... Some people represent it as feminine, but for typical it is actually represented more specifically as a younger individual. a younger individual, not gender specific. This is somebody who perhaps carries the qualities of this King of Cups, but might not be as mature. So even though they have the same sort of emotional capacities, they're more susceptible to being led around by that emotionality. And they're more susceptible to, like, kind of dreaming, letting their dreams kind of deter their more rational notions, which are necessary for a certain achievement. So the Tower, what? So I'm not actually sure. This is interesting because the Page of Cups and the King of Cups are. It now makes it unclear which one of these is you. So you're going to have to determine which of these is you from your experience. I can't tell. Maybe you're the older masculine, maybe you're a younger individual. It's interesting though because the King of Cups and the Page of Cups are facing each other, so that's a good sign. You know, a good sign of maybe mentorship and camaraderie. It's disappointing that this Page of Cups is following the Tower, because it would make sense if, like, the Page of Cups came before the Tower, because the Page of Cups could deliver the message of the Tower, but after the Tower. Once again, though, it's kind of like a sign that the Page of Cups is... it's almost like everybody is kind of... They understand that this Tower needs to happen, sort of. It's like nobody's really caught off guard, and everybody's kind of like, yeah, you know, this really needed to happen. We all kind of feel better after the fact. That's practically what I'm getting here. So I'm going to clarify even further on this Page of Cups, because that is interesting how it threw off whom the reading can be referring to. This one to flip out. Four of Cups. So, tons of water energy for this so far. Like, the idea here now, let me move this. My nephew, who is actually a Cancer, moved this crystal earlier, so let me scooch that over. Okay, so we're looking at... Okay, so with the Four of Cups, it's like... the Justice just flipped out in reverse. Okay, so... This is definitely kind of tricky because... I would have imagined this King of Cups would be dealing with this Tower better than this. But essentially... This is more suggesting now that whatever the Tower is going to leave somebody disappointed. And it's shaping up a little worse because of the Justice in reverse, which is possibly legal disappointment, but it also typically signifies karmatic justice, not in your favor. And I'm not sure if that is the King of Cups or the Page of Cups here, but the King of Cups looks to be... Oh, and the other thing is the King of Cups can be known as a legal individual. They're, like, for being a lawyer, administrator, stuff like that, they do have the capacity. So now we're looking at, like, this King of Cups knows that upon retrospecting that there's this Tower instance that needs to happen. It's very likely that this Tower has to happen to this younger individual. But then there's this apathy developed at some point, and that can just signify, like, the same thing that you used to enjoy is, like, you're just starting to get old. Even though you still like it to a certain extent, it might not be, like, rattling your heart in the same degree. I'm not quite sure what that is. So I'm actually going to run some clarity here. I'm going to get the Justice card clarified. So, hey Goddess, will you please clarify the Justice card in reverse for this Cancer? So, otherwise, like, I don't know why this Tower card has... I don't know what this Tower card is. I'm curious to clarify that as well. I'm looking at Page of Cups. This individual is maybe going to get disappointed about this Tower. Even though the King of Cups understands it needs to happen, the Page of Cups maybe doesn't quite get it to the same degree, and it's going to leave them a little disappointed. But... So I don't know what this Tower is, because, like, with the Justice card cinching this up on the end, it's almost as if the Page of Cups has earned some negative karma, but like they're in the upright, so it's not like they are not necessarily toxifying. The issue though with the Page of Cups is that sometimes they can be dreamy. So if they've been misled down sort of an illusion, path of illusion or something like that, the Tower could be a result of that. And receiving this negative karmatic justice could be the result of that. So, yeah, so I'm curious for some clarifiers on the Justice reverse. Alright, great goddess. Justice reverse clarified, if you don't mind, please. I had 3 cards flip out, but I'm still hesitant to take 3 cards for when I'm trying to clarify 1 card. Sometimes I do it. And here's another 3 that flipped out here. Okay. Great goddess, can I get 1 clear clarifier for the Justice card in reverse, please? She's not a fan right now of giving me 1 card for the Justice reverse. So let me see here. How about for the Tower then? Great goddess, can you clarify the Tower for me, please? 9 of Cups trying to flip out. Interesting. Or 9 of Pentacles trying to flip out there for a split second. Great goddess, can you please clarify the Tower for me? Since you are having some trouble clarifying the Justice in reverse. Might be a good time to check the timestamp if you don't want me to sit here and wait for me to get to the relevant point of the reading. So this is just trying to come out a little bit. Let me re-clarify them. I'm going to go back to trying to clarify Justice in reverse. So, goddess, if you do not mind, since we're at 17 minutes, there's another 4 card drop. Since we're at, yeah, I mean, not managing to clarify here. If I don't know how I could conclude this reading. It's just a kind of a, it's kind of a sign that this Page of Cups needs to go through this Tower, regardless of how it makes them feel, because they kind of earned it somehow. Even though it might not be like the Page of Cups is a bad person or something, but maybe they are just, maybe they just got like led down the wrong path. And maybe that's what this King of Cups has to retrospect on. They understand that they've got to deal with this Page of Cups. That's sort of all I've really got here. So I'm looking for some clarity here. Let me do a shuffle. Hierophant reverse on the bottom of the deck. Kind of has to do with the Justice card. Justice, Justice, Justice. Alright, great goddess, if you could please. Can I get some clarity on the Justice card here? Here's one that wants to come out. So let's see what this is for you. So clarifying Justice reverse, we have the Nine of Pentacles. That tried to come out earlier. No joke. So, I don't know. I don't know about that one. The Justice, the only thing I can really think off the top of my head on that one is that going through this, like paying up this negative karma now, is actually going to assist this Page of Cups in achieving material abundance, which would be very wise of this King of Cups in the long run. If the King of Cups understands this and puts this Page of Cups through that tower, it is suggesting here that it's going to pay off this karmatic justice sooner rather than later for this Page of Cups, and that in fact it is going to pay off in the long run for the Page of Cups. So it's a good shot that maybe you're like the father of this King of Cups or something, or the father of this Page of Cups. Or maybe you are the Page of Cups and your dad is this King of Cups, and he's gonna. And actually, as soon as I say that, we have the Chariot on the bottom of the deck, which is Cancer, or on the split, not even on the bottom, but just on the raw split, it was the Chariot. So the Chariot trying to come out here for you. Let's see if it will come out or not after a couple shuffles here. So yeah, that's interesting, because the Nine of Pentacles is definitely a very cool sign of achieving so much emotional, or not emotional, Jesus. You've achieved enough material abundance and you've achieved enough personal quality that you don't have to. It's very difficult for like haters and detractors to get you down, because your results speak for themselves so much, and that is hard to reach if you still owe this karmatic debt, because you're going to be blocked from receiving that abundance if you have negative karma and you're indebted with. So it's very interesting how this King of Cups is proving to be the intuitive type who can see all of this for the long term. And it is very interesting that it might just yield to this Tower for this Page of Cups, but regardless of how this Page of Cups feels, and it might even be the fact that there might even be actual legal defeat in this situation. So maybe this King of Cups is like the lawyer for this Page of Cups or something, but the King of Cups sees that the right thing to do is like disappoint the Page of Cups and deal them a defeat, sort of injustice, or like, you know, maybe there's like a strategic option where you can get like a lighter sentence by admitting it or something. I don't know exactly, but you know, something like that. Like somehow this King of Cups is finding their own wisdom on making things play out like this. And this Nine of Pentacles is clarifying the fact that there is light on the other side of this, whatever paying this karmatic debt is, on the other side of this Tower. So that's very interesting. For sure, because if you can get to this Nine of Pentacles state, it's worth it. You don't want to be stuck in wherever this Page of Cups is stuck before this, because you're very likely not going to be able to reach the Nine of Pentacles in that state. So very interesting, yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Good Goddess, can we please clarify the Four of Cups, please? Four of Cups, clarified for Cancer, if you do not mind. Great Goddess, can we please get a clarifier for the Four of Cups for Cancer here? Likely be, preferably before they get tired of hearing me shuffling these cards. Hierophant trying to come out a little bit. Queen of Cups kind of trying to come out. Eight of Cups reverse trying to come out. Alright, Great Goddess, can we please get a clear message on the Four of Cups in the upright, please? So we're at 23 minutes here. That seems like a pretty solid gist of the message. I might even be able to just end the reading here. I might not, and I'm not really getting anything else. Oh, the Chariot on the bottom of the deck again, right when I decided to stop. Chariot's trying to come out for you. It might want to come out somewhere else, though. And just trying to slip out on the top of the deck. You know, I love seeing that so much. That's how my faith is reinforced by doing the tarot, and the tarot defies statistical normalcy. So, alright, Great Goddess. If I do not see anything clarifying quickly for the Four of Cups, I'm probably going to end this reading, because it's kind of right about where it needs to be honest. You don't even have really any, you don't even have any like diminishing energies going on here. There's like no fire energy at all diminishing your water. And there's no, the wind isn't near the earth energy that you've got here. So, definitely interesting. I think I'm probably gonna end this. I kind of wanted to clarify the Tower for you though, to see like what the Tower could be, but I'm not getting anything else here. So, there's a good shot I'm gonna call this. Alright, Good Goddess, can you please, one last time, is there anything you need to clarify for this reading? Multiple flip outs even. If you do a multiple flip out, I will take them and play them on the cards here. But I'm not going to run much longer here because this is actually left off at a pretty solid point. Alright, so one more shuffle. Three, two, one. Great Goddess. Alright, so let me see what these are. If one of them is the Chariot, I will take it. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to call it. There's an older masculine figure of the quality of water who is going to successfully introspect in retrospect as to how to deal with some kind of youth that is perhaps not old enough to have stabilized their mentalism as much as their emotionalism. And there's a potential that this youth has found themselves maybe being led around by others. Maybe they are, even though they are of good quality, they're easily influenced because of their raw emotionality. And that, for whatever reason, is being called to change here. And this King of Cups, through their retrospection, is wise enough to understand this. They have their own personal quality. Maybe they saw this in their own history. Maybe they have experience dealing with this in their work life. Maybe this is actually their child. Whatever the relationship is, this King of Cups is finding the wisdom to do what is necessary for this Page of Cups in the form of this Tower. And this, for whatever reason, this King of Cups is in the position where they understand that they have to deliver this Tower for this Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is not exactly going to feel great about that. They're going to be a little disappointed emotionally. But there's a sign here that they've got to pay off some negative karma, which is a good sign that they are erring in their emotionality, and that their ability to get led around by their dreamy nature is maybe getting them into a little bit of trouble. Maybe this, for some of you, is a youth who's getting into trouble, and your lawyer or just some kind of stable father figure is dealing with this for your own good. But the sign here is that this Page of Cups has great potential. And they have the ability to establish a great material abundance for themselves, but before that can happen, they have to get over whatever this karmatic imbalance is, this negative karma that they've built up. And the Tower is how that is going to get paid. So even though they're not excited about the whole situation and the repercussions of their actions, the short-term decision of this King of Cups to put the Page of Cups through this Tower moment and pay off this karmatic debt in the long term is going to pay off big time. The Page of Cups is going to find themselves with the new capacity, having paid off this negative karmatic debt, to actually reach this material abundance and this ability to stave off individuals who do not have their well-being in mind. So this is a great reading if you are the King of Cups or the Page of Cups. It will hurt a little bit more as the Page of Cups going through this Tower and paying off this karmatic justice, but in the long term it is going to benefit you big time. And if you're this King of Cups, you, whomever you are, you have found the wisdom and the internal strength and fortitude and the emotional capacity to introspect and retrospect properly enough to know what's right for this Page of Cups. And that is, excuse me, that is wonderful to see, because it's a good sign that you are living up to your King of Cups status. And if you're this Page of Cups, you're blessed that you have this King of Cups in your life. A lot of people probably don't have that. And by your fortune, you both will very likely in the long run be blessed by the Page of Cups reaching this capacity. Material, not just material abundance, but the ability for your material success in your own strength to speak for itself, which gives you the ability to overcome dissenters and naysayers and negative people in your life. They can't hold you down anymore inside of yourself because you have the material results outside of yourself that speak for you. And they work as evidence against all of the naysayers. All they can do now is pout on the outside and hate. They aren't able to get into you the same way anymore. And and that's good enough, but on top of it, you also have this material abundance that's all yours. And it looks like you're somebody who probably deserves it if the universe is going to deliver this King of Cups for you to put you through this situation to grow you into this person, which is very good to see. So whomever you are, whomever is a viewer, because this could go many different ways for whomever is viewing this. Some people could be this, some people could be that, some people could be looking at this from the outside. It's very interesting, but that's what I've got for you. So good luck, whichever side of this you're on. Take care, and God bless. Or I should say, Goddess bless.